One of my favorite moments ever, like having been an MPN especially, was meeting Mediocre, because we didn't even know each other existed. We didn't even know who each other even were. We were in the same squad. We're just like, one day, the current colonel of IL division had us team up. It was just us two just there. I was Caustic. She was either Loba or Lifeline. She was expecting a guy, I think, on the other side of that, but she got a squeaky voice behind Caustic because I was expecting her as a guy voice too, and we're just like, hi, at each other.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mercy Lens episodic series here. We are on episode 4 already, and it has been so much fun recording these videos and meeting with all of the people that we have up to this point. And today, I have a very special guest with me. I'm actually probably, I don't know if I should say this or not, but I'm probably most excited for this guest because I feel like she nails everything that we want to achieve by doing this podcast. The main topic that surrounds all of it, the things that we talk about most on these episodes, is MPN and what it means to everybody and kind of what it's done as a community for people all around the world. And today, I have the Lieutenant Colonel of the FS Division, MPN Eijiberry. And the reason why I'm so excited to have you on today is because you were somebody that I remember coming up through the ranks. You're very quiet, kind of shy. I even remember when you became a major in our community, you were unsure about whether or not you were comfortable speaking with everybody in a group type environment. And then here you are, officially a division leader and doing great things in our community. So welcome, first of all. That was quite the introduction I just laid out there, but welcome to the Mercy Lens podcast. And really, I just want to, I guess, to get it all started, let's start right from the beginning. Let's tell all of the viewers, the listeners, tell them a little bit about yourself and kind of how you started out with gaming.
Well, I'm from Ontario, Canada, actually, and I've been video gaming ever since I was 4 years old. When the very first game I played was between Duck Hunt and the original Mario Brothers on Nintendo. Um, the minute I fell in love with Dr. Mario, especially and Yoshi's Island, like the whole progress of video gaming just grew from there, like right to the Game Boy Color, now PlayStations galore. Like I've been gaming for so long, I don't even know what it feels like to. I don't can never imagine a life where I wouldn't actually be gaming at all because it's crazy. Because it just fits in with all my anime, my art stuff I like doing, my drawing, and even being a part of MPN.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned the Game Boy Color, and it just like hit me with a flashback out of nowhere. Trying to stay up and like shine a light over your Game Boy Color and staying up late and playing Pokemon was pretty much the only game I really remember playing on Game Boy Color. And then they eventually came out with the Game Boy Advance, I think they were called, and you had the little like ring, like the worm light or something it was called, where you could attach it to the little system and then it would put a light over top of it for you so you could see. And I still have those buried in boxes somewhere, I'm sure, that I should go back and find. There's so many really cool memories with that, that not a lot of people these days get to experience, unfortunately. It was definitely a big part of my childhood as well. Well, um, let's take it back now to kind of, if you can remember pre-MPN days, what were you doing online gaming, I'm assuming? What were some of your games you were playing? And, how did you connect with people before MPN came along?
Oh gosh, before I even connected anywhere with MPN, this is actually the first gaming community I've ever been in. Before I even joined, I was pretty much in my story writing community doing so much, and quite a few of them I started gaming with when I found out they liked some of the same games. I pretty much used to play a lot of solo player games like Odin Sphere, Dragon Age, Destroy All Humans was quite addicting, and Pokemon.
Yeah.
um, And literally, when I first joined, a friend of mine came out of nowhere, was like, "Hey, do you want to play some Apex?" So I've been hooked on Apex since the day when actually tried it out and got the PS4. When I found out about online gaming, like I swear, sometimes I thought I lived under a rock when I found out you could do online gaming too. So it's like,
Who's your main character on Apex?
that's Mirage. It used to be Wraith. It went to from Wraith to Caustic and then Mirage. It's been between Caustic and Mirage ever since, especially Mirage.
I've been thinking about I've never played Caustic or Mirage, and I've been debating on trying both of them, but I can't decide which one I want to do. I was leaning more toward Caustic going into this season, but now I'm kind of leaning more toward Mirage the more and more I think about it and the way I play. And I don't know. I got to figure out something different. I'm at Gold 4 right now, and so I'm just not happy there yet. So far this season, I got to try somebody new. Um, can you tell me, how did you, I guess, find out about MPN if you can remember up to that point? How long have you been in the community, by the way? I always like to ask that too.
It's been well over a year actually.
Okay.
Then it doesn't feel like it feels longer. It just shows how much time like actually flies quicker than you thought. But
Yeah.
um, I found MPN through a friend of mine from my roleplay community. He was a part of MPN. He was an LTC. He was a major of the Call of Duty section.
Okay.
And when he got me into Call of Duty to try it out, he's like, "Yeah, do you want to join this?" It's like that was back then when I didn't even know how to talk to anybody too much. Like it took me about 3 or 4 years to even get on a voice chat and Skype or Discord or anything just to talk with people. Like I just frantically unsure. Um, but ever since I had joined, like I never looked back. Like it literally took him a week though to convince me because I wasn't sure what I was going to be walking into. Because with Apex and Call of Duty and trying out the online experience, and all I've seen was these trolling people or
hmm
just the usual stuff that you can get from toxic random people that you don't know. But it's like, okay, well, what if that happens here? Don't worry, I swear it's not going to happen. So it's like, okay, I'll give it a try. And the minute I came here in MPN, everybody was so welcoming, had open arms galore and everything. And it was because of a lot of people in this community that I tried to open myself a little more to be like able to talk with everyone because it's like MPN is so full of wonderful freaking people and I love it.
Yeah, and that's why, again, I was so excited to bring you on. I asked you if you wanted to do it, and I was like, I wonder what her thoughts are about doing a YouTube video and doing a podcast and all of that stuff. And you were like, immediately, yes, I would love to do it. So, like, I just fed off your energy. I became so excited because I know how shy you were versus where you're at today, and like watching that transformation happen has been a very cool and unique experience, and seeing you enjoy your time here as well is just as rewarding and so much fun to watch. So now that you said, you're kind of hesitant at first with even talking to people online, let alone getting into a Discord community and getting involved that way. What was like day one like? So your friend recruits you into MPN, tells you, hey, try out Call of Duty. Did he try to recruit you for Call of Duty, or did he initially know to bring you in for Apex? And then what was it like once you finally got in? You got your uniform changed, and you're in the server now. You can see all of our channels. What was day one like for you, for somebody that, had been hesitant up to that point?
Well, the sad part is day one, I ended up having to get rid of Call of Duty when I first joined because of the game file size was too much for the PlayStation.
hmm
And I was sitting here for like days, like, oh God, they're probably gonna kick me out. And it wasn't until they mentioned there was an Apex squad, it's like, okay, well that's my main game anyway. Sure, I don't mind switching over. I felt so bad, so horrible. I'm like, okay, I feel like I just squad hopped on my very first day, and I don't know, like 2 days in, and I don't know how to feel about it. But luckily, the major at the time was super cool. He was really chill, and he's just like, no, 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 don't force yourself to stay here if you don't have the game no more. So the minute when I joined Dynasty Squad, and it had the same vibe, the same welcoming feel. I just sat there and like, okay, I'm probably gonna mess this up too. I'm just gonna stay in my little corner for a little bit until I can figure stuff out. But it was because of all the outgoing like personalities and everyone talking where it started to get to me too, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Everyone is super chill, everyone's super sweet. Like I gotta start opening up here. And it wasn't until when I actually tried to talk and everything and join the meetings, it just felt right. Like I just felt so horrible still to this day. I couldn't even join the Call of Duty meetings. I'm like, I can't. I don't have the game no more. Don't
I
kick me out.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know you were in a Call of Duty squad. I've just always known you from Apex, I think. So to hear that you were involved in Call of Duty like that is really cool. I learned something new today as well. That I hope, other people are learning about you in the community too. So we've talked about gaming all the way up to this point, right? You being an Apex player primarily now, Call of Duty, which I just learned. What else about MPN as a community, as an organization, whatever you want to call it, to this day? What else do you enjoy about it? We have our Discord servers, a graphics team, productions team. We have MPN University, content creation, esports. What else do you get outside of just gaming? Do you enjoy about MPN?
Well, I enjoyed like the very first thing I could think of at the top of my head is the environment, as well as the variety of people. Like I love to be able to be in a group where it doesn't matter like what your race is, what your gender is, how your pronouns are. It's like everyone knows how to make everyone in the group feel good about themselves and feel welcome. As well as the content creations and the stream team, the GFX. I love seeing how other people progress their own works, and even with the streaming, like I'm now pretty much on Twitch 24/7, just like trying to jump to everyone's stream, see how they're doing and everything. Like it's just the whole creativity towards it all, as well as the family vibes that everyone tries to look out for each other and everything. Like the whole never leave a member behind was one of my favorite parts of the honor code when I first walked in.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I always use when I'm going out and finding new people to join our community and telling them about MPN and what we do here is you get to interact with people from all around the world, people that have totally different lifestyles, and I talk about it all the time with everybody. Pretty much whenever I get the chance, is that I grew up small town in Iowa, right in the middle of the country, and you don't really get to go out there and like have I don't want to say a social life because I feel like I have a pretty decent one, but like you don't get to go out and experience what it's truly like out in like some of these bigger cities, especially here in the U.S. You have L.A. and you have Florida and Miami area, and we have people all over the U.S. that help. New York is another big one. And then people such as yourself that live in Canada. We have quite a few people that live in Canada, and I've known people from that live in Canada for 10 plus years now that I met through MPN, and then other great countries across the pond too, over in the UK and all of that. It's so cool that I don't. I guess if I'm gonna tell a quick story, is like I don't know if I'll ever make it over to like Ireland or Britain or anywhere, London. I don't know. And just knowing that I can interact with people and we do video chats like this, right? Where it's very like we're sitting next to each other, but really we're across the country or across the world is so incredibly cool to me that we can just do it with the push of a button, essentially. And we have such incredible people here that are welcoming and able to do it and willing to do it and want to do it. So you can continue to create a friendship that could last a lifetime. You might not ever meet. And when you do, by the way, some people here have met each other in MPN, and it's one of the greatest moments that they can, up to this point of their life that they can say is that, I got to meet somebody. I was just, another quick story. But I was just talking to one of our members. I won't mention their names just in case, but like he was at work and a customer came in the door wearing an MPN jersey, and that's how they met each other. Isn't that cool? Like that's so awesome, and that's how he, knew who that was, and he introduced himself, and it was somebody that is in the communities. They're both still are, and it just happened actually not that long ago. So hearing stuff like that is just so cool to me, and that I'll never get over that. It makes me smile from ear to ear, just thinking about that all the time.
It's literally how I felt yesterday, actually, because when I found out one of our members literally lives 5 hours away from me, and she was the same as me when I first joined Super Shy, and now she's one of your board members kicking butt out there. Like, and I found out, I'm just like, holy crap. It is a small world after all.
Yeah. No, and it's we learn, and that stuff is becoming more and more popular here in our community as we continue to grow. And another example was I was playing Rogue Company like last week, I think it was, and some guy was paired up with me in a random lobby that we were playing with. He's not in MPN anymore, but he was several years ago for a different game, and recognized my name, obviously the MPN part, and then obviously, me being the owner, everybody kind of seen my name that's been a part of the community at one point or another. But he was so hyped up about it, and he had TTV in his name. So I, of course, after the match was over, I went and checked out his stream and just watched it for a few minutes. And the dude talked about MPN for like 5+ minutes on how cool of an experience it was, and that he just took a break from gaming for a while. And we ended up reconnecting that way, and I followed his stream and chatted it up with him for a little bit afterwards. And like now, you know, um, we got reacquainted and getting back involved in the community. Another one happened on Reddit too. The same thing, right? I made a Reddit post about I think it was Apex, and mentioned my name, obviously MPN Evolution, on my Reddit profile. They recognized me from that and said, "No way is this the same MPN from 2010, from the Xbox 360 days, Call of Duty and Halo 3 and all that." And turns out, yeah, that was another member that was in several years ago. That just he was growing up and had to get a job, and then just went inactive essentially, and now we got him back involved in the community as well. So over 10 years later, and the guy is back. It's just so cool to hear stories like that, and like I said, becoming more and more of a thing um, as we continue to grow, and the older we get and the more people that hear about us. It's really, really cool. Um, so, hey, I want to give a shout out here to this week's sponsor. So we'll take a quick break. We want to thank Clan Battles for coming on. So we'll talk a little bit about them, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes. All right, so I am so excited that Clan Battles has come back as a sponsor of this week's show again. Thank you very much, Clan Battles, for all of your continued support. And if you guys didn't know, they made a huge announcement on Twitter where September 10th, Friday, they are doing a Rogue Company tournament, a 2v2 demolition special there on clanbattles.gg with a $200 prize pool. There are other competitive websites out there, and they're boasting about how much their winnings are, and we see anywhere from $100 to $150. Well, Clan Battles is starting off their very first wide tournament with $200 for the grand prize. So don't miss out. It's $5 per person, $10 a team. It's a 2v2 demolition tournament with the winner bringing home $200. You don't want to miss out. This is an awesome opportunity for some up-and-coming players. If you enjoy the game, if you enjoy Rogue Company, or maybe you've never even tried it, heck, for $5. $5 is all it takes for you to buy in. Find a friend, find some person off the street, bring them in, and pitch in another $5, because it's could be like playing the lottery, right? You could be the lucky winner. It could be anybody's night. Don't miss out. Rogue Company 2v2 tournament, $200 grand prize, courtesy of clanbattles.gg. Friday, September 10th, the whole thing will be broadcasted live, commentated, the whole works. This is a full-blown produced tournament. Don't miss out. Clanbattles.gg for more information. All right, again, thank you to Clan Battles for coming on again as the sponsor of today's episode. We enjoy working with them, and shout out to their Rogue Company tournament coming up September 10th. Make sure to get involved in there with them. So let's get back. MPN, we've talked about so many cool things that have happened and kind of your beginning here in the community. So let's now look at present time a little bit. And if you can, I guess, just tell me what have you taken from being a member in MPN? Any skills or traits that maybe you've learned from people or from our organization that you could probably or do use in your personal life a little bit on a daily basis? Is there anything that you've picked up on that you feel like has kind of changed about what you do?
Definitely. One of the top things, especially, is communication, because usually offline I'm like the same way. um, Other than that, another thing would be definitely on numeral systems, because like the CMS taught me so much about being more organized and how to like work with everything properly to make sure a squad is staying alive properly, as well as motivation for many things, because before, motivation was a thing I also struggled with aside from talking with people. And definitely the motivation to keep pushing and keep trying my best, do what I can, has been the biggest asset for sure. Like, it's helped affect like real life situations at work, as well as like with dealing with members if I need to, or like even just like having a nice conversation like this, because oh, my train of thought went off there.
Well, I think I like the term motivation. I haven't heard that one yet from anybody else we've had on the show before, and the reason why is, especially after doing this for 10 and 11 years, it's very hard sometimes to stay motivated, right? We are now busier than what we've ever been in a good way. We're growing exponentially. And we're only going to get busier when the holiday season comes around and the new games come out and people are getting new consoles and all of that stuff. But even like content, right? Like to do a podcast like this for you and I both is a guaranteed, hour and a half out of our day that we already are spending doing something else. So you kind of got to give and take. And the motivation sometimes to sit down and actually do it can be very difficult, especially being like a division leader such as yourself, where you're in charge of 5 squads now, and it can get overwhelming. It can get, when drama happens with that many people involved, it can be demoralizing. And the motivation to continue to push through and the reasons for why we do that is, to make it better tomorrow than what it was today. And that's what we love so much about you. And the reason why you excel so much in your leadership position, I think, is because you're able to stay motivated, you're able to stay positive, and you're able to interact with people on any given day, right? Like we all have our bad days, whether in a sad way or in frustrating way. But I don't think you could ever tell with you personally after interacting with you for as long as I have. I don't know. Do you have bad days? I don't know.
On it, I have had honestly a few days where I was like the demoralizing part. Like sometimes it will hit, and there was days as a major where I felt I wasn't a good enough major, or I felt like I was failing everyone. Like I almost legit stepped down a few times. Like I was like unsure of myself half the time, but it was because of other members that shown like true friendship and like had been there for moral support. And like literally one of them right now was my lieutenant who took over as major of the squad I was leading. It was all because of him, especially too, and others who helped keep me going on this train. I literally get people coming in my DMs, like, just you okay? How you doing? Just checking in. Like, it's like knowing that I have that support and able to give the support the best I can in return, which makes me just want to keep going.
And
Yeah, especially when helping someone out in any situation, like, hey Barry, can you go do this? Can you help with this? And then it feels freaking awesome when you know that you succeed in helping them. Like, it's the best part of it.
And I think that's probably why you make such a great divisional leader is you understand how that can feel, right? When times, you don't feel like you're doing enough or they're not going the way that you want them to. Um, you can step in now as a leader that, essentially runs 5 squads, 5 of those same types of people. You can identify that and help them out when needed. Whether it's doing something in CMS or running something through the squad or just being there as a friend. That's what it really comes down to is just caring about those around you, those that you interact with and you've gotten to know. And I think you do such a great job at that. And again, I think that's one of the leading reasons why you're as successful as you are here in our community is just for those exact reasons, those scenarios like you just said. Um, I believe it makes it very easy for you to identify with those people and those days that they have. It's just takes a special kind of person to really care and not just fake that you care, that you actually care about other people. And I don't doubt for a second you're one of those people. And we have a lot of those type of people in our community, and that's what makes us so unique and special. I really do believe that. Um, what are your LTC of the FS division right now? Apex Legends, 5 squads. I would argue probably 5 of the better squads in our community. I feel like maybe Call of Duty would argue that. But the numbers don't lie. They speak for themselves, right? I only say that because I'm back on the Apex grind right now. So unless I get back on Call of Duty, then I'll be. No, I'm just kidding. But what are some future goals for MPN Eijiberry? You've achieved so much in our community up to this point. What's some future goals that you're hoping to hit here in the community?
Well, to be honest, like right where I am at the moment is like this is probably one of my favorite positions to ever be in. Like I do one day like hope to like do more that I can in return for like thanking MPN. Like I want to do more in return basically. As well as like jokingly I want to get out of this gold 4 thing that I keep being in every season. Like I was literally to a point I almost changed my name to MPN Forever Gold 4 Berry. Like,
I feel your
or
pain.
MPN Broomstick Gold 4 over here in the corner. Like, it's been so tempting.
Hey, I feel your pain. I'm the same way right now. Gold 4 and I can't like the moment I start to build up a little bit to get out of Gold 4, I like go through this bad set of time on Apex and I'm back down to 0 RP and deeper and deeper into Gold 4 and I just can't stand it. um
And
so
I guess, oh, sorry.
no,
I
go on.
guess another future goal I would add, like to add in as well. It's like I would also like hopefully one day be able to reach out to the shy ones as well and like let like hear their stories and help see if I can push them as well to like or get out of their shells a little more too because there's so many that I have seen where they're like, oh, I'm too shy, I'm not good enough. It's like that another thing I would love to try doing at one point as well as trying to like share that experience with them.
I
Because like I know I could relate to like quite a few of them in this situation.
I think that the one thing that just happened fairly recently, I guess, was Discord came out with the new thread thing, right? Where you can have different conversations. People don't have to get the notifications for it. You can make them private. You can invite people to them. And it's a really cool feature that I've been wanting to explore more. And I expressed that in a couple of board meetings ago. But MPN Mediocre Girl is, somebody that I can kind of, I guess, identify alongside with you because she seemed kind of quiet and like didn't want to really, put herself out there to the community too much. I mean, she had a ton of friends, but like when I would talk to her, she would be like, "Oh, I'm okay with doing what I'm doing right now," and but she had so much more to offer that I could see. That from a community standpoint of, she could have a voice to make this community better and to shape it into, a brighter future. And she started this girls group, and the reason why I bring that up is because I feel like obviously our community being mostly made up of males or whatever, and hopefully I hope this isn't a thing, but I feel like it is that when females join, they're a little bit more quiet at first. They're hesitant, kind of feeling out things and seeing what that's like. And I really believe that by mediocre, and I think I saw you in there as well, participating in this, is that not only does it help the quiet ones, but it helps the female gamers that start out quiet, and that's something that I would like to see change myself personally, is like, come out and act like yourself, and just have a good time. Be open-minded, just like male gamers have to do too. Is you got to stay open-minded. You got to be willing to play with anybody, get to know everybody, give everybody a chance. And we really don't get to see that enough, I feel like, and we don't get to see it soon enough to where people start out really quiet for quite a while, and like I said, kind of just have to feel things out. And I really want people to come through the MPN doors wide open, just, be themselves day one and get to experience everything that we have. One thing I guess is like our training classes, right? Some people might just sit a few out just to not, just to not kind of ruffle feathers, but like, they're just too, I don't know what the word is. I keep saying quiet, but it's not even that. It's like, I don't.
Introverted.
Yeah, introverted, and so they don't participate in stuff like that. But what I really want to see people be able to do in our community, and I feel like there's so many people out there that are great examples of this, is like just be yourself. Day one, come out, talk, have fun, invite people to games. They'll invite you back, and just really start to build a reputation right out of the gate. I love people like that personally. I start out kind of quiet, I guess, around new people, just to kind of like, feel them out and see what they talk about, and like, who they really are. But like, if they talk my ear off, I can just, everyone knows I love to talk. I mean, I'll shoot it right back. So, I really wish we could have more of that, and more, people just day one getting involved, and being themselves is really what it comes down to. So, one last thing, one last question, my favorite question on the show, because it's like a right field type question. But you have me sitting here. We've been talking now, going on an hour. What are, if you could have one thing changed or added about MPN in general, anything in relation to MPN and what you know about it, what would one thing that you would like to see changed or added to our organization?
Well, as for change wise, I'm fine with how things are. Like an added idea, one thing that'd be pretty interesting, like we were talking about it a few times here, like kind of like a section of memory lane. Like what was like when you first met this member, like, hey, remember that time this happened? Like it's literally one of my favorite moments ever, like having been an MPN especially, was meeting Mediocre, because we didn't even know each other existed. We didn't even know who each other even were. We were in the same squad. We're just like, one day, the current colonel of IL division had us team up. It was just us two just there. I was Caustic. She was either Loba or Lifeline. She was expecting a guy, I think, on the other side of that, but she got a squeaky voice behind Caustic because I was expecting her as a guy voice too, and we're just like, hi, at each other.
Oh, I'm sure that was so much fun when you guys first
Oh,
realized that too.
it was like instant friendship right there. I'm like, oh hi, oh okay, no, you're a girl. Okay, no, no, yeah, okay, hi, how's it going?
And
Oh, you've been here how long? Oh gosh, same type as me.
And that's why, that's why I think you guys are very similar in that fashion is, when I first started getting to work alongside you both, you were just quiet, and just kind of did your thing and were active in the community. But um, the moment like I got to know you both better and hear your guys' ideas and just what you wanted out of this community, uh, it just like it makes it more fun for me too, right? Like just knowing that there's things that we can do better or things we could change and things that we could add to the community. And when I hear that come from people that have been, have a reputation maybe of being quiet and not always speaking in different meetings and stuff, such like that. When I finally get to hear those ideas, they're so much fun to get to go through and be able to implement. And, you know, I think that the thread thing, going back to that, will help out a lot. That's the reason why, too, we did the podcast is we had so many people that were coming to me and to other board members and everybody else just kind of wanted something like this where we could get to know other MPN members on a kind of like a personal basis, but like more of just what have they achieved in the community? What's the community mean to them? And where do they see the community in the future? But to be able to do it on a video call like this, I think a lot more people can gravitate toward that because now they see a face behind that voice and they get to truly learn something new about every single guest that we have on here, just much like I did with you, right? I never knew you played Call of Duty. And so that's what's so cool about this podcast. And then, hopefully a year from now, you can go back and watch this and just be like, wow, look how much I've changed even since then. I thought I changed a lot in the last year. Now look at where I'm at and look at what I'm doing a year from now, 2 years from now, and forever, hopefully. It is, I believe, will be a truly like a cherished type project that we work on. And that's to go back to the motivation thing is like that's what motivates me to continue doing this with everybody is that A, I get to learn more about people, but B, I want you guys to be able to go back and watch this and be able to enjoy that. And then for new people that join our community a year from now that get to interact with you on some sort of level, they'll be able to go back and say, oh, look at this episode. Yeah, I didn't know she was on this, and then can go back and watch it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the future looks like there.
Same here, especially like when I was speaking on like creative aspect towards people's usernames. I love like seeing what anybody can come up with because literally mine was a mix between a book character and an anime character. I couldn't decide between the two. I'm like, mix.
Yeah, there's definitely some creative ones out there, and I love hearing the stories though. In all seriousness, about where they came up with that is you know every gamer tag I feel like for the most part for most people has a story to tell alongside with it, right? And that's cool that yours is no different than that, right? You have a story to tell behind it and how you come up with it and a little bit of a creativity process behind it too. It sounds like.
Yeah, it was also like a that and a mix of indecision because it's like, do I want to be a Barry kid off the cat character or do I want to be this Age girl off of this character? Nah, I'll be a Barry, a Barry with the name in front of it.
There you
But
go.
it gets fun because people, it's like, how do you pronounce your name? It's like, just call me whatever you want, whatever's comfortable among this name that you feel works for you. I loved it in a meeting the other day. Actually, person was like, can we call you mom then? I'm like, where Big Sis works too, I guess.
There you go.
Like sometimes I'll make jokes. I'll make jokes with the talent board member, just like, yeah, I'm a broomstick, okay? Or I'm secretly a broomstick over here, just.
Oh, well, it's been so much fun recording this with you. I hope that you got to enjoy it as well. Um, I guess before we close it out, do you want to give a shout out to anybody? We haven't done that yet. I've been trying to think about this entire episode in the back of my head. I thought, what could we add to this to make it a little bit more than the other one? So, anybody you want to give a shout out to in our community?
Definitely to all the board members to continue doing an awesome job at what they're doing. And for sure, because I know I said her name earlier, mediocre, keep being fantastic, girl. You've grown so strong from the first day I freaking met you, from like also shy to a very social person and very creative, very loving. Just a big shout out to you as well for that, because it's like growing alongside you was been it's been awesome seeing you grow, training you. Like literally, I was training her officer positions too at the top of that, so it's like really good process. Also, definitely to Tez. If not for him reaching out to me to try lieutenancy, I wouldn't even be here. Um, Also to MP and Krampus for being a big motivator every time I felt like I was going to step down. Like he always seemed to time it right. There'd be days where literally during his training, I bawled my eyes out that day because I was one of the down moods. He just said those words that just kept me there. It's like, you know what, dude, I'm forever thankful for him for that. Also, it's a shout out to you as well for having this community existing for so long and being granting disability for like me and other people to be able to try their best, do what they can, and show what they can for this community. It's been amazing so far. I love it.
That's so great to hear. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your evening. I know you got a meeting coming up right around the corner too, so I don't want to keep you too much longer, but thank you so much for doing this for me. And thank you for being like so excited. I just fed off your energy like the entire week we were scheduling this. And then, I reached out and you're like, whenever, just let me know and I'll make it work. So I really appreciate that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I was literally getting driven home from my sister's birthday party when you asked me. I'm like, oh my god, in the car. My godmother's like turning around, like, what's wrong? What's going on? It's like, yes, it's nothing. Don't worry. I'm just, yeah.
Like I said at the beginning of this episode, this is one I've been looking forward to for quite a while. I was hesitant to ask right away because I didn't know if you'd want to do it, but I was so happy when you said yes. I knew we had to get it done right away. So, episode 4, one of the first few. I'm really excited about it. It was one of my favorite to do up to this point, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you and our community. I'm really excited.
Same as well. I'm just continuing to look forward working with also my general and my colonel. Like both Morph and Ma are like two of the best people I've ever even met to work with too. Like they're just right there. We just all together. It's great.
Yeah, you guys are doing awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you to Clan Battles for sponsoring today's episode. And thank you, all the viewers and the listeners out there. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to give us a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, give us some feedback of what you thought of today's episode, but also maybe some guests you'd like to see in the future here on this show. So we appreciate all the support up until this point, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.